Alright, hello. So we're just going to recap the four major types of organic reaction that you'll look at in year 12, level 2 chemistry. So one is substitution, and that is when one atom literally substitutes another or replaces another atom on the molecule. So as we can see here, we've started out with an alkane. This is ethane because there are two carbons. And if you react this with something in a test tube, other atoms may want to form more favourable interactions with this carbon atom here. So say any one of these hydrogens, but if we're going to say, okay, well maybe this one here, could get bumped off, literally kicked off and replaced with a bromine atom. So as long as you can spot the difference between what's happened here, you could be a chemist. So that's substitution. Another one is elimination. Now with elimination, again, spot the difference. When you have an elimination reaction, it's because atoms have been taken away or removed from a molecule. When that happens, carbon atoms are going to have bonds broken with their side groups that are attached to them. So they're going to want to form more covalent bonds with each other to keep each other stable. So we're going to get either double or triple bonds formed depending on the situation. So if we had, here we have an alcohol, because it has an OH group, we have a single carbon-carbon bond. We can do certain types of reactions, they're called dehydration reactions, where we could take off this OH group and a neighbouring hydrogen off a different carbon. And if we took them away, we'd end up taking out literally a water molecule, and that would only leave these atoms. Now, these atoms can arrange themselves to form a favourable molecule that would look like an alkene. So we have formed a double bond here. Addition is literally the opposite. So if you can spot the difference and if you can think in opposites, so you can be a chemist, you also have to be able to count to 4. So here we have an alkene. We could actually break this double bond and each carbon could bond with another atom. Yeah, carbons, remember, can form 4 covalent bonds. So say we had lots of hydrogen atoms around in the right circumstances, you could get this double bond being broken and you could get more atoms being added to the molecule. This is why it's called an addition reaction. You do require some sort of double or triple bond to break in order to add these atoms in. And the last one is kind of like you learn a bit more about this as you go through chemistry, but oxidation for organic chemistry, level 2, really, really loosely, you can identify it by seeing if there's any oxygen atoms that have been added to a molecule. So here we have an alcohol, OH group here. We could react that with some substance that really likes undergoing oxidation reactions. We call them oxidizing agents. Potassium permanganate, or the permanganate ion, is an oxidizing agent. You have met that before. That's the really beautiful bright purple. So when these guys react, there are a lot of oxygen atoms here, and you'll get this real strange dance happening between these two molecules, and what you end up with is an extra oxygen being added. I've got some asterisks here. So this one here, I've drawn the alcohol, and then I've pretty much drawn something very similar, except it's lost a couple hydrogens and now it's gained this oxygen. When I say it's gained this oxygen, it's actually, these two were the original oxygens. This one is the one that's been added. But it doesn't really matter as long as you can see that you've gone from one oxygen in this molecule to this molecule having 2 oxygens. Doesn't matter which oxygen came from where. And this asterisk here is a bit of a disclaimer because an oxidation reaction is not necessarily just adding oxygens. There are different ways you can describe or define an oxidation reaction. We're not going to go into that now, but that is pretty much it. If we go back, we've looked at 4 major types of reaction: substitution, elimination, addition, and oxidation.